So this video is all about dilutions and how do we dilute a solution and how do we calculate for that. If to begin, what exactly is happening in a dilution, in a solution? Well, when we look at this, dilution basically is that you start off with a solution with a known concentration and you're making a more diluted amount or a solution with less solute. It could still be the same volume, it could be a different volume. You're basically just changing the concentration amount. So if I were to dilute this in the same sort of volume, I would have less solute. And how do we calculate the amount of solute? How do we calculate the amount of volume? That is based on this formula where you have the concentration of one times the volume of 1 is equal to the concentration of 2 times the volume of 2. Sometimes you might have seen this variation where the C is actually molarity because they represent pretty essentially the same thing. So you can have MV times or is equal to MV. So M1 times MV2 or M2 times V2. So you can have these two, they mean exactly the same thing. This is concentration times volume 1, concentration 2 times volume 2, or molarity 1 times volume 1, molarity 2 times volume 2. So let's look at an example here. I'm just going to write my formula here, and this is what the question is asking for. What volume in milliliters of a 2.00 molar of calcium chloride stock solution would you use to make 0.5 liters of 0.3 molar calcium chloride? So let's begin with what exactly is a stock solution. So stock solution is really the solution you start off with that you have huge quantities of. So when you buy a solution from a manufacturer, they come in a large jug, and that's your stock solution. And usually when you buy acid or really concentrated solution, you have to dilute it to get to a smaller concentration or smaller molarity. So if we were to use this formula and write off my variables here, let's see what we're missing. So let's see. What volume of 2.0 molarity of calcium chloride? So since this is asking for my volume, I'm going to write my molarity 2.0 in M1, because what you use to make this, so that since I'm making this is going to be my the second one. My volume, I'm trying to figure this out, so that's my unknown. My M2, my second concentration is 0.300, and my second volume is 0.05 liters. So what I'm going to, if you understand what's happening here, if you think about this, you start off with a very concentrated molarity. This is your 2.0 molarity. So you have a lot of solutes in solution, and then you want to make a very dilute solution. So that's 0.3 molarity, right? This is your 0.3 molarity. So let's plug this all into this formula. I'm just going to change my color here, and my M1 is 2.0 M times volume 1. This is my unknown. I'm just going to leave this as V1. This is equal to 0.3. I'm just going to put my bracket here without M here. 0.05, 0.5, not 0.5. So I'm going to bring up my calculator here. So this is going to be my 0.3 times 0.05. This is going to give me 0.015 on this side. This is going to be 2.0 M times V1. I'm going to isolate V1, divide 2.0 to both sides. So V1 is equal to this answer divided by 2, which is going to be 0.0075. So what are my units here? I know that this is volume, but is this going to be in liters or milliliters? But if you know your molarity formula, it's moles per liter. And all of this, I have not changed anything. So this is going to be my liters. And if I want to change this to milliliters, I need to multiply this answer by 1,000. And that's going to give me, move my decimal 3 places to the right. That's going to be 7.5 milliliters of stock solution. So what exactly does this number mean? This is with the understanding part. This is where it is very important for you guys to relay what this 7.5 milliliters represent. So this 7.5 milliliters, this is the amount of CaCl2 stock solution that you're using. So when you're starting off right now, this is the scenario. Here's your stock solution. Oops, sorry about that. This is my stock solution. This is 2.0 m, right? If we were to go back here, this is 2.00 m. That's your molarity. And you're going to dilute this into a flask, and you're going to end up with a 0.3 molarity. And what size is the flask or the beaker that you wanted to put it in? 0.5 liters. So this beaker is 0.5. So how exactly am I going to make this this 0.3 solution? So what you calculated is that this 7.5 is the amount of the stock solution you're taking. So you're taking 7.5 milliliters, you put it into here, and then what you're going to do is that you're going to fill the rest up to 0.5 milliliters of water. So you're not going to put exactly 0.5, but you're going to fill all the way to the 0.5 or 500 mLs of water to the line with water, and that's how you dilute that solution. So this number, don't just do the math, but understand what this number represents. So this number is really the amount of solution one you've taken in, and then you're going to fill the rest with water all the way up to 0.5 liters. So that's your first dilution question. Let's look at the second one. The second one is at what volume of a 3.0 molarity of potassium iodide stock solution would you use to make 0.3 liters of 1.25. So it's very easy to get into writing the math here, right? The MV is equal to MV. So if I were to write out the variables, let's write out M1 is equal to 3.00 M, and V1 is my unknown, and M2 is my 1.25 M, and then my volume 2 is 0.300 liters. If I plug all this number in, again, you're going to get this. 3.0 times V1 is equal to 1.25 times 0.300. And if I bring up my calculator here, let me just kind of clear all this stuff. 1.25 times, oh, that's not it. Let's clear this. 1.25 times 0.3. On the right side, I'm going to get 0.375. And then 3.0 times V1, I'm going to isolate this V1. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3.0. V1 is going to give me, divide by 3. That's going to be 0.125 liters. Again, we haven't changed any of this stuff. The standard volume is liters. So it's going to be 125 milliliters. So what does this number we just calculate represent? Again, we started off with a 3.0 molar, and then we need to dilute this to 1.25 molar. So you know that this is a lot less than this, so there's less solute. And now because we are putting this into a 0.3 liters, so what you're going to do is that I'm going to change colors here. You're taking 125 mLs of this stock solution, you're putting it into your new beaker, and then you're going to fill the rest up until you get to 0.3 liters with water. And finally, once you do that, then you have diluted it into this concentration. So that's what this number represents, that 125 mLs. That's the amount of your stock solution you're taking in. Okay, so that's going to be a dilution question. Hopefully this video has helped you try to understand what this number represents instead of just plugging into the formula, because there are some questions that could be kind of tricky and you really have to read the question to understand fully what's happening. So thanks for watching.